This is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today, your media hub for all things Black business and related news, strategy, and events.
Greetings. Welcome to Black Wall Street Today. I am your host, Blair Durham. I have the great pleasure of leading Black Brand, Hampton Roads Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. And for those that have been asking the question, how can you get engaged? How can you get connected? You can visit our website at blackbrand.biz. We have 3 more events this year. So we have an opportunity to join us this coming Friday at our headquarters for our Velocity event. Just a straight networking event. Beer and wine will be served. 3 networking nuggets by our members. It'll be a really, really nice time. You are welcome to join us. Then coming up on Tuesday, the 13th, we'll be celebrating our B-Force Accelerator, the final cohort of this year, have their landing ceremony luncheon and Connecting Flights Resource Fair. That fair is open to the public. It's happening at the Norfolk Waterside Marriott, an opportunity to engage with 25 different vendors, business development organizations, corporations, banks, etc. Learn about opportunities and ways that you can grow your business for the coming year. Maybe you're saying, I'm not an entrepreneur, but I am a corporate professional. This is a great opportunity to engage as well. Lots of times there are opportunities, different corporations, they're hiring. They're looking for professionals like you. So I do want to invite you to join us 3 p.m. at Norfolk Waterside Marriott on Tuesday, December 13th. Be a great networking opportunity. And then finally, on the 15th, we'll have our final members breakfast. And so this will be a nice time to learn more about kind of year-end tax strategy. We will host Lily Binglow, who is a CPA, one of our members. Looking forward to the nuggets that she is going to share on the 15th as well. You can get more details, register for these events by visiting our website at blackbrand.biz. Hey, I'm excited about today's show. Super excited about our guest. We're going to have a conversation about transportation and logistics. Man, this is a big topic and a big time to discuss it. So after high school, George Berry served in the U.S. Army. He served 8 years in the transportation branch and then decided to build upon his skill in the civilian sector as a professional truck driver. From company driver to owner-operator and 1.5 million miles under his belt, George has gained a vast amount of experience and knowledge. In 2014, he helped found an organization called For Truckers by Truckers to organize port truck drivers and advocate their concerns to Virginia Port Management and affect change. Currently, George is a terminal owner and manager for Pioneer Transport in Chesapeake, where he oversees 2 full-time dispatchers and nearly 10 independent contractor truck drivers. He loves to serve his community through his membership with Black Brand and volunteers as one of 4 election specialists in the city of Chesapeake. This is going to be a good conversation. How are you doing, George?
I am thoroughly excited. Thank you so much, Blair, for this opportunity, this invitation. I think this is so needed for our community, folks to get this knowledge and understanding of what potentially investment opportunities that they can venture into in trucking.
Yeah, this is huge. And you tapped my shoulder a couple weeks ago to say, we're not talking enough about transportation and logistics. So I'm glad that we're having this conversation. I look forward to future conversations as well. Thanks so much for being here. So let's jump right in if we can.
Certainly, let's go.
People talk a lot about starting a trucking business. They have one viewpoint, and I think hearing your vantage point, really want you to give us a realistic depiction of what it takes to start, what it takes to stay, and then let's talk a little bit about the payoff as well.
Okay, sounds great. So there are various branches of trucking that you can get into: car hauling, dump truck, container hauling, which is my specialty. The Port of Virginia is the 3rd largest port on the East Coast, most likely 6th nationwide. And they have nearly 1 million containers come through these ports on an annual basis.
Wow.
The Port of Virginia is a economic engine in this region, and they provide a lot of jobs, and there's a lot of freight that has to be delivered throughout our region and locally. So a good opportunity for folks to purchase trucks don't even have a CDL. I have truck investors who just want to get into the industry by purchasing their own truck and getting a driver to operate that truck. And they more often I see them doing maybe perhaps a 50-50 split. So it's a great investment engine, and I'd love to see more folks tap into that.
Huge. So looking at current market conditions in terms of transportation and logistics, is there really still growing opportunity there? I mean, do we need to be fearful about perhaps drones impacting the market for those interested in the industry? I'm just curious to know about the availability of freight, how you go about building relationships in the industry. Kind of give us a deep dive, if you would.
Yeah, so there's an old adage that nothing gets delivered unless it's on a truck, and that still holds true today. Everything we see in the studio, everything from the shoes on your feet to the purse you're wearing, it's all been delivered by a truck at some point or another. But what I can say is through these different, for these different opportunities, you know, a lot of drivers get into this field, and, you know, what they have to understand is the market does change. Just like the real estate market, where there's a buyer market and a seller's market, same holds true for trucking. There is a broker market, or freight forwarder market, you could call it, and then you have a trucker market. And the way I see that
was going to be my next question.
Oh,
right
no, I'm already jumping ahead of you.
No, this is good.
So, yeah, the market does fluctuate in our industry as well, and that can be hugely impacted by container freight, imports and exports, either, you know, slowing down or increasing. That really moves the needle when it comes to our industry.
Got it. So broker market versus driver market. What market are we in right now?
We're mostly in a broker market right now. A lot of freight has been delivered for the holiday season. As you can see, Christmas trees went up during Halloween weekend. So there's a lot of gifts and things of that nature that's already in the warehouses. They already have received a lot of their merchandise for the season. I would also say that there are economic should I say, maybe political or other country issues that impact, you know, the amount of freight that moves through here. Let's say China, for instance, which is our number one importer. If you noticed on the news lately, they've been dealing with some protests around COVID restrictions, because when they shut down, Blair, they shut down. Like, there ain't no, okay, this state is doing the mask, this state ain't, no, they all shut down. And so that impacts a lot of the warehouses and the labor over there. In addition to that, they have a New Year as well. Our New Year's one day, their New Year sometime lasts a couple weeks. I think this year is like 16 days or something is their New Year. So when that happens, a lot of the factories and warehouses slow down. And then they have another holiday, I think right after that. I think it's some lantern holiday or something. Please don't quote me on that. But a lot of those different issues impact our ability to receive freight.
That's interesting. I never even considered that, how the customs and traditions in China would then impact. That makes a lot of sense.
Indeed.
You're a sharp guy.
Yeah, they got a longer way to go if it's any China freight that we're getting through here on the East Coast, because they more likely have to go through the Panama Canal. That's why you will see a lot of backup over there in the West Coast ports, because it's a shorter distance those vessels have to travel to get from China to, let's just say, Long Beach. So you'll see tremendous amount of backup on the news versus them traveling all the way over here to the East Coast.
Oh, gotcha. Hey, if you just tuned in, you're listening to Black Wall Street Today with Blair Durham. I'm talking with George Berry, who is a terminal owner at Pioneer Transport. I started to say for truckers, by truckers. We are going to spend some time talking about that, though. But before we do, I'd love to know what advice you'd give to someone just getting started or maybe considering getting into the trucking industry.
Right. So there's two ways I would say you can enter this. You can enter it as a driver. That means you're going through the course, getting your CDL. There's quite a few courses around in the local area that you can attend. They usually don't last but a couple months. and some of them have accelerated courses. So receiving your CDL, getting your permit, and taking the road test is crucial to you being able to obtain your CDL. Once you have that, it opens you up to a lot of opportunities. Perhaps you want to go over the road, maybe into different sectors of trucking. So that is one direction. Another direction, if you want to just use it as an investment tool, you could purchase a truck, get the registration, all that good stuff, and we can get into the cost if you want to move forward that conversation as well, Blair.
Yeah. I've got that on my list.
Okay, great. So we can start there and get you a truck, get you a driver, and then you can get commission based on what your driver does for, say, that week. Most drivers get paid every week, or let's just say most the vehicles, because we don't pay the driver directly. That would be the owner's responsibility.
Got it.
Yeah.
Curious to know too, just from a mindset perspective, someone who starts out and they've got a trucking business. Mm-hmm. How do we keep our head in the game?
Well,
is that a tough question?
Yeah. I guess as far as just staying focused, it's pretty simple, basically, especially if you're an owner of a vehicle. You're just expecting that driver to make the right decisions when it comes to the loads that he or she takes. And, you sit back, and if there's any maintenance that's required, then you step up at that moment. Anything dealing with the truck that, an owner would typically deal with. Other than that, it's a fairly simple system.
But I know there's got to be a fair amount of headaches that come along with it too. I know there's got to be some stress involved. I mean, you're talking about people, you're talking about systems, you're talking about equipment, you're talking about transportation. I mean, a lot of different moving parts. I mean, it's huge what you're doing.
Yeah. So it can. That's where we come in. Pioneer Transport. We're basically a dispatching hub. So we're basically giving the drivers the opportunities, different lanes that's available, and they select from that, and move the freight accordingly. And there's a lot of insurance, umbrellas, and different things to sort of protect your investment as well. So I don't think it's as challenging. I think it could be if definitely, if you're looking for a challenge, it would be an interesting investment to make.
Yeah, pretty cool. Okay, so we were gonna talk a little bit about compensation and that kind of thing. I'd love to just learn, is there anything standardized about compensation for drivers? Like, how are you able to build a budget in order to manage your operations?
So typically a lot of the drivers in this, or I should say trucking companies, also known as motor carriers in this area, offer a independent contract to our drivers. And some of them are based on a percentage, and the percentage, there's a large percentage that the driver or the unit makes, and then there is a smaller percentage that the trucking company makes. And the trucking company is able to keep their operation going based on the volume of trucks that they have leased onto their company.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Advocacy. I know this is a big passion of yours.
Absolutely.
Want to know about your relationship with the Port of Virginia, right? And the origin of For Truckers by Truckers. So what kind of advocacy do drivers need that you've been able to provide?
So port drivers need a voice. There are other organizations, I should say, in the area that do some level of advocacy. For Truckers by Truckers is a direct advocacy organization that speaks from the ground level of the port truckers to the Port of Virginia. Our relationship hasn't always been good initially with the Port of Virginia, but it has grown to be better over time. Their management team listens to us. They hear our grievances. They respond in adequate time. And I think we have one of the best ports here in the United States by far when it comes to the relationship between port drivers and port management. There's some ports in this country where they can't even get a meeting with any of the port leadership. So I think the Port of Virginia has done a phenomenal job in taking up our concern recognizing our organization and to be, something that is a strong force due to some of our actions in the past, whether that be protest or, meetings, things of that nature, is really gotten the attention of media and the Port of Virginia. And we're so thankful for all those different entities that have responded to our plights.
Yeah. What are some of those key concerns by drivers that you've been able to help mitigate?
I would think a lot of it stemmed from port congestion or port wait times. The Port of Virginia responded with a port reservation system that helped to mitigate some of the backups that were occurring at the Port of Virginia. They've also responded in other ways. Beautification of the port is important to me by far. Having clean restroom facilities for male, especially our female drivers. That is very near and dear to my heart, and as well as just communication. So the port has a port text service as well as email notification of any updates that they need to share to the driver. And for trucker, by trucker, most of the time what we do is streamline that information directly down to the drivers that follow our Facebook page.
Congratulations. That's huge.
Oh, thank you, man. 200%.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just happy to see that you identify those needs.
Indeed.
You became a voice. You pushed, and there have been some responses.
Indeed.
I mean, that port reservation system, I know that's huge.
Yeah, that definitely has been helpful. It was a lot of pushback at first, but I think a lot of drivers have come to appreciate it a little bit more, especially when there's availability of appointments. That really makes a key difference in our appreciation with the system.
Yeah, nice. Kudos to you.
Indeed.
Is that effort ongoing? What to you, to the port? I mean, the drivers, because ultimately, as you indicated, this is an economic engine for Hampton Roads, right? So whether we know it or not, we're all dependent upon smooth processes,
Indeed.
truckers being happy, et cetera, right? We're a lot of times all we do is kind of complain about, having to be on the road with truckers, right?
Yeah,
we don't recognize valuable goods and services.
Right. A lot of these folks are at work when they're in their truck. They're actually going to work versus the folks who are driving leisurely or whatever. So remember that next time that driver's trying to get where he needs to be, it's the same way.
Yeah. Go ahead,
when
let
you're
him
at
pass
work.
you.
Yeah,
let him over, let him in, whatever it is.
Yeah. Be courteous, flash your lights. That's a good signal for drivers. I remember we're sitting 60 feet from you, from the back of that trailer. That's about 60 feet. So we can't always tell, depending on the weather conditions, if it's clear for us to get over or it's not. So a courtesy, little flash of your headlights a couple times, that gives us the indication that it's clear for us to get over, and that's really beneficial for us drivers.
Because you can't really check your blind spot per se. I mean, even with the additional sets of mirrors, you're kind of dependent upon us to provide an indication.
Indeed, and we don't have a rear view mirror. Contrary to some people believe, there's
no rear view.
Yeah, you got a trailer behind you. So,
yikes!
And everybody's equipped with these high-speed cameras and things of that nature these days. But definitely, we want to be able to, be able to communicate on the road. A little tap on the horn sometime, it's always helpful. So
takes cooperation.
We appreciate that still. And the kiddos to give us the little blow your horn signal. There's a commercial out. Have you seen that?
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. Till the little girl goes to sleep, and the mom's like, "Don't wake her up," because she got, I guess, tired of all the truckers' horns blowing or stuff like that. So, yeah.
So, little known fact about Blair Durham.
Okay.
I am the daughter of a trucker. I am the sister of a trucker. So I spent some time with my niece in recent weeks, and she was saying, she enjoys going out over the road with her dad, but she feels like there needs to be more communication between them when she's riding. She says she went to sleep in Tennessee and woke up in Kansas, and it's like, what just happened?
Right.
I'm like, you're on the road.
Yeah, doing
Dad's
the job.
Working.
Exactly.
Again, though, kudos, that for truckers, by truckers piece is huge.
Yeah.
Is that an effort that's ongoing? Truckers can still get involved? Is that a membership-based kind of piece? Like, how does that work? Is that more of a union? Like, what is that?
So good. I'm glad you mentioned the union portion of it. So as independent contractors, we're forbidden to unionize. But I always say that doesn't forbid us to organize.
Okay.
And so what we've done, we have nearly 3,000, bag drop, 3,000 drivers out here in this region to come through in and out of these ports on a pretty much a daily basis. So to be able to gather their perspective and their thoughts, for Truckers by Truckers has been around since 2014, and we've continued to do what we do, but more so it's through a Facebook platform now. We don't have as many driver meetings anymore, just because
you've been able to get some responses.
Been able to get some responses. We've been able to get a lot of things accomplished, and drivers sometimes still call me directly and say, hey, I'm having this issue at the port, and I can call a team member from management directly and get the problem resolved. So those that supported our organization or ongoing support in our organization is completely appreciated. It's mostly through Facebook right now. We don't charge any membership fee at this time, and we just want to continue to do, because we have a passion for this industry, and we want to continue to do what we need to do to revolutionize this industry.
George, can we look forward to some classes, some George Berry transportation and logistics courses coming soon? Like,
you could be. I've given so much for free.
I mean, I know. Are we going to monetize this information, or what we doing in 2023? Because the reality is, we need this to not become a dying industry. I know that's something you and I talk about all the time, is you don't have as many folks lining up as we really need in order to satisfy that demand.
Yeah, it's been so crazy, because you think about younger folks these days, I think more tech-driven. No offense to Instagram influencers and YouTube influencers and gamers that feel that they could just sit at home and make their money. But, pretty soon that means we won't have folks cutting our grass, doing the plumbing, delivering our loads. And yes, they talk about autonomous trucks. Tesla just I don't know if I can bring that brand up, but they just released an autonomous truck. But at the end of the day, it still takes a human being in that truck to sort of take over in case anything, nefarious happens. So, I think it's going to be a lot of change that occurs through this industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just wonder if there's not a way that we can kind of create a campaign, really brand this thing, with you kind of as maybe the face of it, and you providing this content to really, maybe leverage TikTok and energize folks around, no, this is still where it is. Like, let's not be confused. My brother has a management degree, a business management degree from NSU, but like he runs a trucking company. Like, let's be clear,
Indeed.
This is a real thing that still needs to happen.
Yeah. Well, it's not all lost. From your lips to God's ears is what I like to say. We never know.
I want to make sure we can get our packages.
You did that. Yeah. You'll still continue. You might get a little express service. So, indeed.
Okay. What else do you want to share? We've got a few minutes remaining. Would love to hear anything else that's on your heart and mind as it relates to this industry. What do folks need to know?
I really want to say this to the general listening audience, that as much as I don't want to sound like I'm bashing higher education, but it's not necessarily required to become an entrepreneur. You don't need a degree to start a business. I would say that those of you who are in high school, or those that may be in college, or military, whatever the direction you took, this is when starting a business, just make sure you're going through the right steps, make sure you're going through the right channels, and jump out there. I encourage folks that I come in contact with, young folks, doesn't matter, get involved in whether it's something in the community, as I do with the elections in City of Chesapeake. We do need younger volunteers. It is a paid position. Some people might not realize. But get involved in different things. Get involved in your civic league. And again, starting off, getting into entrepreneurship, it's something you can dive in that doesn't necessarily take a degree to get started with.
Yeah. I remember hosting a series on a radio show around whether entrepreneurship required a college degree. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, we concluded it does not, right?
Right.
And I think what we see now more than ever is the availability of free resources. There are so many programs in Hampton Roads that did not exist when Black Brand first started out in 2016, right? Now you've got the NSU Innovation Center that you can walk into and get free help. You've got 757 Startup Studios where you can get help. All the different programs at Old Dominion University. I mean, there's so many free programs. So if you're interested in starting a business, tap into what the community is doing. There's a nonprofit called Start Wheel that intends to be kind of a hub, at least from a marketing standpoint, about all of the different programs, all the different resources that are available, right? So just by getting on Start Will's mailing list, you can get information about entrepreneurship. I say entrepreneurship's not for everybody, but man, entrepreneurship can be learned.
Indeed.
You know what I mean?
Indeed.
You can learn how to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of that, I mean, Black Brand feels as it is some business incubator to start up Black businesses. It encourages entrepreneurship. So I'm so thankful to be a member of the organization. I know for 4 or 5 years.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I led by the Rainmaker herself, I gotta
the Rainmaker. That was cool. We were fortunate enough to be honored in Virginia Business, 100 people to meet in 2023. So I thought that was cool because I do enjoy meeting people.
You was like number 4 or 5. How'd you get on?
That was pretty dope. I don't know.
I made that part up. I don't know if you was 4 or 5. I made it up to see if you was gonna follow along with me.
You're funny.
Good. Glad that you did.
But no, to your point though, yes, Black Brand, definitely a resource. Incubating businesses, accelerating businesses, making sure folks that have access to those critical resources. So many businesses fail in year one? They don't even see year one.
Yeah. And the networking potential that you all offer is phenomenal. It's hands down. It's not anywhere else around here for Black businesses directly. So, man, I really appreciated all that you've done and what you continue to do. And I think this platform is simply amazing. And I'm just so thankful to be a part of it and with all that you do.
Speaking of networking, I got to ask you, as it relates to getting work, right, as a trucker, how important is it, like, how do you build relationships with folks that you can then get freight from? Like, is that you doing that, or is somebody doing that on your behalf? Like, how do you get freight?
So I work as
real quick, before you answer. I think about my brother, when we're hanging out, he's got to take several hours to make phone calls and kind of chase down freight. And I'm like, man, like, how does he know who to call? Like, how do you get in there? Right.
So I think it's important to have, well, for me, I'll take my business, for example. My business name is FTBT Transport LLC, but I'm a subsidiary of Pioneer Transport. Pioneer Transport Inc. is based out of Pennsylvania, and they have quite a few agents scattered around the East Coast and some of the Midwest.
Okay.
And so I'm sort of set up as like a franchise.
Got it.
And that benefit gives me the brand name, yet the brand itself has had 40 years of or 40 plus years of relationship building.
Okay.
And I'm sort of tapping in that. It would be no different as if you had a Go Bird Go restaurant, and I'm just making this up, so don't try to hit us up for advertising dollars. But by having that set up, you're an owner operator of Go Bird Go, but Go Bird Go got 400 different restaurants. So you being an owner operator of that business, you're benefiting from the relationships that Go Bird Go has built up all this time. So that's what I've sort of done. And most of my business is done through email. Customers and brokers are familiar with Pioneer Transport, so they will reach out to Pioneer Transport to get the business.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we take
you got some help in that regard.
Right. You don't have to have your own authority. You can come right through us to make things happen.
That's dope. Well, George, this has been my pleasure. I appreciate you being here today.
Pleasure's
for sure.
All mine.
Yeah, thank you so much. And for somebody interested in reaching out to George, mr.gberry@gmail.com, sharing his email address publicly, mr.gberry@gmail.com for more information, right, about the great work that he does. I'd be happy to sit down with you and do a one-on-one. And thank you so much for tuning in to Black Wall Street Today, where we're building minds, we're building connections, and we're forging the path ahead toward business success in the Black community. We'll talk next week. Phenomenal. Stay with us online at Black Wall Street Today on Facebook and Black Wall Street Today on Instagram. And then follow us on Twitter as well at BWS Today. We look forward to talking again next week. Have a wonderful week. I have said and I will continue to say that the most important priority for the Black community is the Black community, not a particular political party. Phenomenal.
Hey, yo, when I say black, you say Wall Street. Black Wall Street.